What I wanted to do before launching into the challenges is just give you a little bit of kind of background about how we suggest that you approach social media marketing in general. And we're going to be talking very specifically about how you can expand your brand through influencers and engagement on social media. Just to let you know about my role at Constant Contact. I'm the small business evangelist for the company. I used to run a small business myself. I then ran a small business marketing company as well. So I was really helping and training and supporting small business owners, very similar position to the one that you're in, to do their own marketing and to outsource to the appropriate people when the time was right. And I was a Constant Contact partner for about 3 years, and then when Constant Contact came to the UK, they asked me if I would become part of the team, and I was really pleased to do so because I got to do all the fun bits of my old job without ever having to bill anyone, which was really nice. That was the bit I always dreaded when I was running my own business. So you can see my contact details there. I would love for you to get in touch with me. I would love to know how you get on with the challenges. If you've got any questions, I'd be more than happy to help you out as you go through actually implementing the challenge. Just be aware I do a lot of traveling, so I'm not always at my desk, but I do read all my emails and I will get back to them eventually, even if it takes me a few days sometimes. So just to explain to you about Constant Contact, we have a toolkit of a number of different marketing campaigns that you can actually run all from the one place. So if you're wanting to do email marketing, you're wanting to do Facebook promotions, if you want to run an event and issue tickets, we're a software as a service tool that you use to do that, and one of the key things that we really care about is actually educating our audience, which is the small business audience, and that's how we really do a lot of our go-to-market, which is why we have people like me here in both in North America whose sole job is about education of our customers and our partners. So let's look at marketing. At its core, marketing is about getting a physical and measurable response out of people. So even when you're doing something that can feel quite tenuous in that context, like posting onto your social channels, ultimately what you want to think about is what are you actually getting out of it? Like, where is the response that you're getting from your audience? Because that's when the engagement really matters, because otherwise you're just shouting into a space, right? And it's this online digital world that we're living in now actually allows you to measure those responses, which is why it's a great platform for you to be using. So in terms of how social media has changed, this is based on a then and now study that we did. We have small business surveys that happen on a regular basis, at least annually, and sometimes every 6 months in certain geographies. So we find out a lot of stuff about small business behaviour, also about our customer behaviour as well. So in 2008, only 10% of small businesses said that they were using social media marketing. And in 2013, that had risen to 87%. So we're still waiting for the data to come in from last year, but it's going to be even higher. And the key there is that people are now looking to contact the brands that they want to interact with through their social channels. And what we found is that social media really influences people's decisions as well. So 74% of people said that they rely on social networks to guide purchasing decisions. So I've done that myself. I've asked my Facebook friends for, you know, a local plumber who would be recommended by them. I've used it to, I've used different social channels to find, like, you know, the best place to go and buy, like, shoes that I wanted to buy. All sorts of different things I've actually done through social media, and I'm sure you have as well. 55% of people say that they also share purchases on social networks. Now, as you are 3 different retail brands, that's a really great opportunity for you. What you want to do is you want to actually try and build your customer advocacy so that you're getting your customers to actually be posting on their social channels about your products and about their interactions with you. And then 68% of people say they learn more about a charity if they see a friend posting about it. Now, none of you run a charity, but you all have, I'm sure, charitable endeavours that you work with. I know certainly for Riz, you're working very closely with charities, specifically under the way that you're looking at your critical mass crowdfunding program at the moment. So what's the key when you're approaching this stuff? 3 key things I want you to think about. 1, you have to start by going where your customers are. It's no good just picking a whole bunch of channels that you want to operate on in terms of social media randomly and then just hoping that the right people are going to see you there. the most time-effective way to do social media marketing is to actually look at your customer base, look at the different social channels that they're using, and start off by going straight to those channels and trying to build interaction there and establishing your presence on those channels as well. The second thing is that, as I mentioned at the beginning, you want to make sure you're integrating your marketing efforts. So social media doesn't exist in a bubble on its own anymore, nor does PR, nor does email marketing, nor does your website. All of those things are all interconnected, and you want to look at where they can strengthen each other, support each other, and how you can use them to create maximum impact. And then the third thing, and this is particularly true for social, but I think for marketing in general, is you want to aim for relationships, not sales. So you could use your social channels to constantly be promoting offers, but that's not really going to attract people's attention in the right way. We get kind of blind to that, and that's not what we use social media for. We use social media, and the keyword is social, for interactions that interest us, that engage us, that entertain us. And so you have to plug into one or more of those three key things in order to actually get the attention that you're looking for. So bearing that in mind, I want to share with you a communication plan that I've shared with a number of audiences now, and I get a really, really good reaction from it. Now, this covers more than social media, but I want to show you where the social media points are that interact, because this is about that integrated marketing approach. So first of all, you need to grow a list so that you can actually build an audience and that you can communicate with them on an ongoing basis. And there's a whole load of different places that you can do that. And the key is, by the way, that when you're looking at list building, either for direct marketing, for email marketing, or for social media marketing, you want to be building those connections every single place that you can. The next thing that you need is a regular communication flow. So one of the things that I recommend very frequently is that people set up a very simple email autoresponder service so that they can have something, whether it's a discount voucher, or it's a free guide, or it's a behind-the-scenes video, or something different that people need to sign up to their list in order to actually get access to. Then, write a blog at least once a week, send your blog out by email, but then also repost it on your social channels as well. And Simple Share is a function that exists within Constant Contact that does that automatically for you. You should also run seasonal campaigns. So here are just a few ideas, and so you could run one of those every quarter. You could host an annual customer event. For tea huggers, that might be, maybe you host a big tea party once a year and make it a charitable thing, so that the proceeds go to charity, and you engage with some other key suppliers that would be able to support that and make it really fabulous. Maybe you have an annual habits or opinions survey. That would maybe work great for Gate 8, for example. You could do a great business traveller survey, and then actually share the content that you get out of that. And it works in two ways then, because people love being asked for their opinion, but then they also love being told what the outcome of that is and where they fall into the group that they're actually responding for. And then you've got your social posts. So here's a really, really simple social schedule that I would recommend that all of you use. And by the way, I'm more than happy to send you these slides so you could use them yourself. 3 posts a day on Twitter as a minimum. That should be your outbound posts. You should definitely be interacting with people more than that when they tweet you back. 2 LinkedIn posts a week. I tell you what, that would put you in probably like the top 5% of LinkedIn users. Most people do not post even once a week on LinkedIn. 1 Facebook post a day as a minimum. As retail brands, you ought to be thinking about promoting more, posting more frequently on that if you've got the engagement there. And then either on Google Plus or Pinterest, a couple of times a week would get you started. Now, when you look at that, you might think that it's only the pink box at the bottom that's the social bit. But check this out. It's actually social all over the place. All seasonal campaigns would be great sources of content for your social media campaigns. They'd also be great places, social media is also a great place to go to get more interaction for those seasonal campaigns. The reposting in the middle, that's all about creating and distributing social content as well. And then even your list growth, you've got a couple of different places through your social channels that you should be building your list. So can you see how it's all sort of adding up and joining together there? And that's what it should be doing. All of your marketing should be reinforcing something else that you're doing in your marketing, and that's when you're going to get a better result out of it and greater interaction. So a really simple way to plan your content. I gave you a kind of a cadence for how often you should be posting on which channels, is to create a very simple calendar. This is just an example, and then plot out and each type of content that you're going to share, when you're going to share it. That means that you don't suddenly get to a Monday and think, oh, I really need to post something on Facebook today. I don't know what to post. Okay. The other great thing about doing it this way, if you look at the bottom, you'll see that at the end of the month is when they're actually sending out their newsletter. Now they can very, very simply look at what posts across all of their different social channels were the most popular and then distill that down into their email. It's a really smart move. So, you know, whether it's their own articles that are getting the most attention, or a particular cartoon that they shared, or a quote, or a customer comment, they can actually say, okay, what got the most interaction on social channels, and then I'll decide to put that in my newsletter because I know it's content that already works. I recommend that you do this, by the way. I recommend that every month you just pull out a really simple calendar, you know, put it on a whiteboard, on the wall, whatever it is, and just decide what you're going to post when. Because the thing is, it's much easier to create a whole set of content under one specific topic than it is just to try and think of one at a time. So for example, like that Monday motivation thing, that could be, and that works really well on Facebook, by the way, is like something motivational and kind of uplifting on a Monday. You could go and look for a specific quote, and you could go and search some of the great quotes databases that you can just find online. Well, pulling out one at a time takes you much longer than if you go there and you just pull out 5 that you want. So here's some examples of people who are doing some social stuff really well. And I'm wanting to use Jimmy's Iced Coffee, which I don't know if any of you already know about. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but I love the brand. I've been told by friends who do drink coffee it's also damn good coffee. So let's have a look at what they're doing. First of all, they've put a lot of character, not just into their social channels, but also into their brand as a whole. And when I saw this on their homepage, I just giggled. They've done a spoof, Here Come the Girls type video. So they've taken, to celebrate the fact they're in Boots, so they've taken Boots' like, you know, kind of tune that everyone now associates with that brand, and they've actually done a Jimmy's Iced Coffee spin on it. And I think either the guy in the middle or the guy on the left is Jimmy. So they've got nice clear social buttons on the top of their page. It's really simple to see kind of, you know, what the brand is. You can see their social channels. It's easy to connect with them on social media, and you kind of have a guess about what you're already going to get. So for example, if you click on that image, you go straight through to the Jimmy's Iced Coffee video that they've created for the being released into Boots campaign. Now they've got just under 2,000 likes, views on that already, and as you can see on the right hand side that they're actually creating a lot of content, because all of their uploads that are in there are all quite interesting, quite engaging, and it's worth having a look at for the different types of video content that you can create. It's not all that high budget, and one of the key things is that I know certainly when he started the brand, Jimmy was doing a lot of his own social media, and that really helped because it meant that it had a strong voice to it. I don't know if he's doing it all himself now, but it feels like it's still him. So having a look at their Facebook page, they've got over 20,000 likes there, so they're doing really well. And they change up their banner image every so often, so they're keeping that kind of updated. And also, like, I love the way that they talk to people. They talk to people in Jimmy's voice, so they're like, "Yo, we're going to make some new limited edition Jimmy's teas, like this one here." So it's very kind of chatty. It's very, their social stuff is all very, very on brand. And they do things like they reach out to their audience. So they're doing product development. They're actually asking about people's opinions of the packaging designs that they're using. And what you can see on the left as well is they've got really good reviews. So if you have a Facebook page, which I know all of you actually have one, make sure that you have got that review section up and that you encourage people to post there. Looking at their Twitter, again, it's very simple. It's the same kind of stuff, but different actual posts. So the first post there, Susie's settling in well to her new kitchen at the office. Those buns are going in the oven. Now they've used a tool called If This Then That, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but it's an automation tool, so you can have different things happen based on certain triggers. There's a free version. I don't know if there's a paid version. I use the free version myself. Something that I'm looking at here that I wouldn't recommend and that they managed to avoid is actually because it's all very well and good to produce loads of, say, Facebook content, but to have all of that appear on Twitter, then I go and check out your Facebook page, and also all I'm ever seeing is like shortened text where it's then got the Facebook link in there. It makes me feel like you're not really present on Twitter. Now you can do it every now and then, and they've done quite well here. So they've got over 9,500 followers, 16,000 tweets, and they really mix it up. So looking at some of the stuff that they share, they seem to post a lot of the view outside of their windows. So mostly sunny, stock up on jimmies and get ready to rock out with your iced coffee out. So the thing is, they can talk about their products because they're not doing it all the time, right? So they're mixing it up. Have a good one, folks. That's actually, when I opened that out, there was a lovely kind of sunrise picture. They're giving shout outs to other people. So this guy's dirt biker. They've got this very kind of strong sort of street kind of sporty sort of tie-in. Saw on, I think it was on their Facebook page, I saw some of their posts where they were showcasing their new HQ, and their meeting table is actually in the middle of a board ramp, not on an angle. It's like on the flat bit at the bottom, just in case you were wondering. They're a bit more practical than that, but that's just very them, and that's what you want to do. You want to take whatever is your brand personality and you really want to kind of splash it out onto your social channels.